What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Slide Job Podcast.
Mm.
A lot of interesting racing going on with Mid Ohio being the truck race, and then going to Atlanta. Mid Ohio truck race. It was okay. I mean, it was just a giant wreck fest. Everyone was going everywhere. I mean, what was it? The first two laps, there was like 16 incidents.
It wasn't even the first two laps. It was just the first lap, and they didn't even get going. It was doing pace laps.
Oh yeah, but the amount of people that were spinning out just on pace laps, like, oh god, this is not going to be good. It- I knew from the start. I'm like, okay, like the beginning of this race, if they actually go racing in the wet, it's it's going to be just chaos, especially in truck.
Yeah,
They're always running way too hard or making dumb mistakes. And I mean, I understand it's a truck series, but you know, you'd think that they would try to keep it under control, at least for the first couple laps.
hmm
I don't know who well, it was Heim that got the pole, because I didn't get to see qualifying.
yeah. Corey Haim was just on another level. Like I think he was like 6, 7, or 8 tenths faster than the second truck in his group.
Yeah, I don't see the group list on here. I just see he was 3 tenths faster than Majeski.
Yeah, that was the final round. But in the first round, he was like 6, 7 tenths faster than I think Majeski.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just the fact that Zane was 8 tenths faster than Hocevar in qualifying, just from 10th to 11th. And I mean, yeah, he only got to put that lap down beforehand, but whew, that's pretty bad. I mean, it it didn't start the way that I thought it would, but there's a dry line started to open up and the sun came out. Once the sun came out,
Yeah,
it was pretty much a given that they were going to go back to slicks, and then we were going to get, like, some actual racing going
yeah.
instead of just watching Corey Heim go off into the distance
Mhm.
and no one be able to touch him. They find, I mean, Rhodes led 19.
It was
He was
some like
really good in
it.
the wet.
Yeah, it was the wet tires. He was hauling on the wet tires.
Yeah, I loved what I saw because Ben Rhodes fan, so I liked what I saw with him pushing it and getting out there trying to make moves. But then, uh, I mean, the incident with him and Majeski, I it was really early. There was no reason to do what Majeski did and just shove his nose. I mean, he was barely even on his corner panel. As it was, he was barely even there, and he just shoved his nose in there and just kind of took them both out. I, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me why he would just send it on his teammate, especially in that area where it's really tight. Yeah, like, I know you're trying to get all the spots you can, but like, really, was it worth it? Because it didn't seem like it was worth it.
I think they both ended up getting back in the top 10 at the end.
Yeah, Rhodes got fifth and Majeski wound up seventh. I mean, kind of a Thor sport 5, 6, 7 because Crafton finished sixth.
Yeah, Matt Clapton had a great one, one that he needed.
He definitely needed a better run because he hasn't been that great.
Yeah,
I was really looking for like something different out of Sawalich. 'cause
Oh
he was good.
yeah,
But and once they started, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go back here and go to the back, not really do a whole lot."
yeah. He went off course with 2 laps to go in turn 11 after
Yeah,
after Thunder Valley.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, he just missed the corner.
I can't believe that Carson Hocevar finished 12th.
Oh yeah, he was like 2 laps down like the entirety of the race. Got damaged like the very beginning. He ran off track I think like 3 or 4 times, and he still
Yeah,
finished 12th. Still finished 12th.
yeah, I don't know what's going on, but at the last, I don't know, 6, 7 races for him, he has just been on it every race.
Yeah, he's finished top 5 I think, and like 5 of the 6 I think, because he had like 3 4th place finishes in a row, and then he won Nashville, and then he had, and then yeah, then he won Nashville, and then Mid Ohio.
Yeah, like it's been a good run for him. I mean, still no information about whether he's gonna go. What's going on with him next season. I feel like we're probably gonna hear about it within the next month or two.
Mhm.
At least some rumors, because I mean, both me and you have agreed several times in the past that he should be going to the 8 car. There's really no doubt about it because it's just like, who else is there? It doesn't seem like there's anyone that's really looking for an Xfinity ride who already has one. So if there's no one else there, and I think Junior will be a perfect fit.
Mhm.
Does he really fit the whole Bass Pro Shops? Maybe not. I don't really think he fits it all too well, but I think how he races it would fit. He's aggressive. It kind of need one of them because it doesn't seem like Junior Motorsports is doing a whole lot this season. I mean,
Yeah.
Allgaier won,
Mhm.
probably got lucky, but I would have rather him win than John Hunter Nemechek. So
Mhm.
if anyone can win over John Hunter Nemechek, I would absolutely love it. But he's just, I don't know what it is about him, but I just can't stand him. Benedetto, another top 10, keeps being solid. Like he's not winning races, but
He's being consistent.
he's just crazy consistent all season. I
Yeah.
He doesn't show up until the end, and then all of a sudden at the end, you see him and he's like 8th, 7th, 6th, ninth. Like where did he come from?
Mhm.
Friesen needed a good race, finishing 4th. That's
Yeah, yeah, he and Crafton were like right by each other, and they're like 10th and 11th on the cutoff line too.
yeah, which is crazy because you would normally think Crafton would be solidly locked in points at least, but
Yeah,
he's
but
had a bad season.
yeah, it just hasn't had the finishes that he's accustomed to seeing.
Man, Friesen started 35th.
Yeah, because he nosed in the wall in qualifying. He missed turn 13, and then he just went nose first into the tie barrier.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't catch qualifying.
Yeah,
They did it really weird with how the broadcast went because like Xfinity qualifying was during the truck race. And it
yeah,
was
that
like,
was really weird.
what? What am I supposed
Yeah,
to do here?
I just ended up recording the Xfinity qualifying and watched the truck race to the end.
I watched the whole truck race. It was like, other than the start, it was a good truck race. Once they all started to figure it out, things started to get a little bit better. Oh man, I don't know what what there is to say. about Haley.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm.
like, at what point do we start calling her a bust?
Huh?
Like, that's the point we're at. Maybe give her a shot in Xfinity because she did really good in Xfinity.
You're talking about a different Haley, my bad.
No, not Justin Haley. Not Justin. It was I'm talking about Haley Deegan.
Yeah, Haley Deegan. Yeah, I expected more out of her. Like, I thought Thorsport would be a really good opportunity for her, but she just hasn't clicked for it for some reason.
I mean, to be fair, Thor Sport really hasn't clicked that much this season anyway.
I mean, Ben Rhodes and Tom just been the main two.
Yeah, and even they're not like Majeski still doesn't have a win,
Yeah,
and Rhodes only has one.
yeah,
And other than that, it just doesn't seem like they're running up front or they're getting close, but something happens every race that takes them all out.
yeah,
Dean Thompson, yeah, he's having a fun week with the
yeah,
ARCA garbage that happened.
yeah,
Like I saw the initial incident that like sparked it off, and it's like,
yeah,
really, dude, like
yeah.
you're you waited all the way around the track just for your teammate
Mm-hmm.
to run him off the track and wreck him.
Yeah,
I mean, he got suspended, so,
yeah, for Iowa.
but it's like, what, like, where was the thinking? There wasn't any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he was thinking.
It made no sense. Like, why are you gonna wreck your teammate in on the last lap when he's up there fighting for a top three?
Yeah, he was second.
That's like that is some NASCAR Heat 5 pub lobby garbage if I've ever heard of it.
Mhm.
Like that is incredible. And that's it may not be the highest level of racing, but like you're a professional race car driver.
I mean,
You
he's only 16.
help. That really doesn't help.
And
God, that's just terrible.
plus, I think this was his, like, second or third ARCA start.
I mean, you get a little bit of a pass because it's, one of the first few starts that you're making, but waiting around for your teammate, it's pushing, you know. It made no sense.
Yeah.
Notables in the truck race. I mean, Hunter Daly finished 18th.
Apparently, he had a uh what's it called? Power steering issue.
Yeah, they were having power steering issues from I think it was like lap 5 or 6.
Yeah.
It was really the water, just the moisture probably got to the truck, and but I mean, bringing home 18th on a road course with no power steering,
Yeah.
my arms would be crying.
He'd be like Daniel Suarez at the Roval last year.
Oh, that was terrible. He looked like crap after the race.
Yeah.
Guess Marco Andretti didn't really do a whole lot. I didn't really expect a whole lot, even though he qualified 7th. I really
Yeah, I think
wasn't
he
expecting a whole lot.
yeah, he got spun out I think once or twice. Then I think he got some damage on the front end of his truck.
Yeah, Raja was up there
Yeah.
until Haley.
Yeah.
Deegan kind of ruined that for him, which sucks because like I really want to see Raja do good because he's one of like the nicest people in the truck garage, and I just want to see him do good because he can.
Hmm.
I mean, he's been fighting for the lead a few times over the past over this season.
He had
So
Nashville. He took the lead, and then as soon as he took the lead, Little Lab, boom, he had a fuel pump issue.
yeah, like I would love to see him actually play, finish where he deserves because
Yeah,
he's got a lot of talent.
yeah. And apparently, he doesn't have a life for next year either. So
Oh, that'll change. There's no way he won't get a ride for next year.
yeah, I was gonna say he'll probably be in that truck next year, not 24.
Yeah, probably. Oh, I forgot about Austin Wayne Self. Seeing
Oh
him
yeah,
in the 22 again is just weird because he hasn't been in it in forever now.
yeah. This was his first start this year.
That's crazy because he was just a regular for years.
Yeah, and then he started to become a family man, and got back on the racing.
Or
He really didn't impress me that much.
no, he didn't impress at all. I mean, he never really impressed when he was racing full time anyway. So
The only thing I remember him was when he finished second at Daytona in 2017.
yeah, yeah, that was a good one for him. I mean, you can all have your they had their a couple chances to shine and they just don't shine. So I think it's just time to hang it up, man. Like, come on. He was running and he was a lap down, finished 30.
Yeah, he got to an incident with another truck. I think it was on the front stretch in turn 13. He got into it with another truck. He just didn't even turn for the corner and just cleaned them out.
Sounds about right. That sounds about what he does.
Yeah.
Uh, Anything else for the truck race? I don't really have anything else. I mean,
Uh,
Daniel Ty 14th. That's
yeah. He had a fantastic one. With how his season's been, he deserved that 14th. Plus,
oh yeah.
and plus on the how he was bottom for that position, he was freaking doring people off the track. He door the 35 off the track, and then he was like three wide in turn four, and then they beat banging off each other going to four and then five, and then he just ran the 35 off the track.
I mean, it is the truck series, and they were pretty much
Yeah,
all doing that to each other, so it makes a lot of
yeah,
sense.
yeah. There was also almost a flip too in the sand trap in turn 11 with the one and I think it was Spencer Boyd in the 12. Actually, no,
Oh
I think
yeah,
it was,
that's
it
right.
was, it was the 66. Excuse me. I think of Connor Jones. Yeah, I guess they made. I think Spencer Boyd was trying to let him go, and then they made contact, and then they went into the sand trap, and the 12 one was flipped when he hit the gravel, and just about took the truck off. I was like, "Ooh, that was almost a flip."
Yeah, and Taylor Gray, or was it Tanner?
It
It
was
was
Tanner.
was it Tanner? That awesome
Yeah,
save going through just the whole thing,
yeah,
all of it. Like that was the fact that he kept that going and he kept those wheels spinning and it moving forward is
yeah.
amazing. That was that was an awesome save, and like they were both fast. They just kept making mistakes.
Yeah, but he didn't do that well in points, so he's getting close to a must-win situation for Pocono and Richmond.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely gonna be tight for them. Well, it's time for probably the more controversial race for me, at least. Xfinity. You know, qualifying. I mean, Chandler Smith. I mean, seeing Chandler Smith, John Hunter, Sammy Smith. None of it really surprises me. There was no real surprises in qualifying. I mean, maybe Josh Williams starting 16th was a little bit of a shock, but at the same time, Josh Williams is good at these tracks, so not really too surprised.
Handling was a credible factor in qualifying. Like the slightest movement in the car, you're just either losing it or you're losing time and you have to get out of the throttle.
Oh yeah, like even like in the cup cars, you could see
Yeah,
how bad handling was and how much it mattered because like
yeah,
if they bobbled a little bit, they lost like half a second.
yeah,
I mean, you got like stage one, seeing Riley get the stage win.
yeah.
He's starting to grow on me, even though when he first started, he was terrible.
He almost
But
did win
he's
2 races.
yeah, I mean, he's starting to really pick it up and clean it up and get better. So I'm here for it.
Mhm. Yeah, I've always liked Wiley.
That combination for stage two was what I was really concerned about seeing. Creed and Austin Hill.
Oh yeah,
Like I like Creed. I don't like Austin Hill.
I
He
like
just
both.
comes off as arrogant. He comes off super arrogant. I mean, yeah, you know you're good, but you win a couple races at the start of the season, and then you just kind of bye bye, and that's it.
Ain't for a lack of trying. I mean,
It's definitely not a lack of trying or talent because he's talented. He is.
yeah.
He's got a ton of talent. That's- I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. How he. I just don't. I don't know.
But the moves that he was making, like they were just crazy. Like I remember, him passing Daniel Hemrick for second, like 40 laps to go. I think at the final stage, something like that. He got a one on Hemrick, and it looked like he was blown by him, like he was standing still. Like he was going so much faster than Hemrick, and then he got so scary going in turn one. I thought they were gonna hook each other or something, going the wall, but he just barely made the pass on him. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, and the thing was nobody went with him, which I understand why.
I mean, like the the fact that that car wasn't illegal is insane because that like he would go into drive down on the bottom and he would be like 15 mile an hour faster,
Yeah.
and it's just incredible how fast that thing was.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of I mean the wreck on 88. I don't even remember what caused that.
Yeah, I don't even remember either.
Oh, that was Riley Herbst. He had a tire go down on the back
Oh
stretch.
yeah. Oh yeah. I felt so bad for Ryan Sieg. Oh
Yeah,
man.
Sieg had a good car. He was good. I mean, Herbst was good.
Yeah, yeah, he was good. I think he ran over something because I think somebody else had a flat tire. I think right before him, like a lap or two prior, or something like that.
Yeah,
And Ryan Sieg was mad. Oh my god! You probably you probably be drunk by every time you heard the bleeps. It was like Kyle Busch level.
yeah, he was pretty pissed.
He was so mad. I was like, oh my god! It was
Yeah,
a bleep and a bleep, 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 bleep.
I think it's crazy how many cars were like laps down. There's only 17 on the lead lap.
Yeah, because I think like 10 of them were done for the night.
Oh yeah, there's from 29th to 38th. We're all out of the race. I mean,
So
Brendan
yeah,
Poole.
yeah.
So the final restart.
Yeah, when everybody ran out of gas, Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, I mean, when everyone ran out of gas, I mean, it completely screwed Parker Kligerman out of
Oh
a
yeah,
potential win because he didn't run out of gas. He got stuck behind Chandler Smith
yeah,
because Parker wound up finishing eighth.
yeah.
Like the fact the fact that Justin Haley pulled alongside Daniel Hemrick, tried to pass him,
Yeah,
is one of the most disgusting moves I've ever seen.
yeah,
The second he tried to do that, they lost any shot of catching John Hunter. There was no way.
yeah.
If he
Hemlock,
pushes him,
Hemlock tried. He just couldn't get that one big enough to get to him. As soon as he got there, it was over.
oh, I mean, John Hunter would have wrecked him, 100%. I mean, we can all have our opinions on John Hunter Nemechek, but he'll wreck his teammate for a win, just like Ty Gibbs did. So he'll wreck anyone for a win. I just did like the, the least deserving driver in the top 10 won the race. I mean, that's the part where I was just like, this is this is such a bad ending to a great race, and it literally all came from Justin Haley preaching about being this teammate and teammate and teammate and teammate, and then
Did
you
tell
get the
Chandler,
chance.
did tell Chandler Smith that we need a team win here.
But I'm gonna try and pass my teammate coming to the white flag, knowing that if I push him, he'll probably win.
Yeah,
That was I wouldn't let him race. I wouldn't let him drive that car again. Like I wouldn't.
he'll probably be in the car for Daytona in the summer,
Right.
but that'll probably be it.
Looking through, I mean, Kyle Sieg, seventh.
Josh Williams finished ninth.
Yeah, Williams getting ninth is that's good for him.
Yeah, I
Since
didn't
the
even know.
last time.
I'll just park it right here on the start finish line. You told me to park it, I'll park it right here on the start finish line.
That's that to this day is one of the best things I've ever seen because it
Yeah,
was a piece of bear bond that fell off the car and they parked them for it, which is
yeah, yeah, because
which is garbage.
it caused a caution, and it doesn't help that bail bond don't stick on cars when there's like 50 degrees out.
Right, like I understand that, a piece
Yeah,
fell off, but it's bear bond.
yeah,
Like I can understand if he's dropping metal all over the track.
yeah,
All right, they tried to they didn't want to go a lap down and they pushed it, but it was a piece of bear bond. Like, come on now, really? Like that's a little extreme to be parking someone over.
yeah,
And I think his reaction was, I mean, maybe not all the way justified, but
yeah,
still one of the greatest things I've ever seen. He's just like, "Oh, you want me to park it? All right,
yeah,
but I'm parking it right here,
yeah,
and I'm gonna go back in.
yeah.
All right, I'm here for it." Looking through the list,
yeah, I
not
didn't
really
even
a
know.
whole lot.
Yeah, I didn't even know Kyle Zeke finished in the top 10 until after Nemechek had parked it on the front stretch when he's celebrating. And I look, I see Kyle Zeke seventh, sweet, and I see Josh Williams ninth, like sweet.
Yeah, looking through, and I mean, Parker Retzlaff, 16th.
Yeah,
All
good month.
right.
Yeah.
Not a lot of whole lot, not a whole lot of like notable things that were going on in the Xfinity race. All the people that we figured would be up there were up there.
Mhm.
I mean, seeing Mayer finish fifth
Yeah.
after how bad of a start to the race that he had. He was back in like the 20s most of the race.
Yeah.
That
I
was
think.
nice to see because I love Sam Mayer. I think he's a great driver. He'll be in the Cup Series soon.
Yeah, and plus I think he was also in that Wreck on Lap 88 as well.
Yeah, he got a little bit of front end damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say about this race. Still looking through. I mean, the 7 and the 48 had a loose lug nut.
Yeah, that's a $5,000 fine for Patrick Donahue, for Kuchi for Klingelman, and Jim Pullman, Kuchi for Allgaier.
Um, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's money. As long if it's only money, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. They have $5,000 to just be like, yeah, take my spot. Oh, the Cup race.
I didn't like the ending, but for
I don't
for
think any of us like the ending.
yeah for the new Atlanta, I think from what I heard, this was the best race they've put on with it since they reconfigured it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if they're gonna do this race, they have to do it when it gets warm
Mm,
because the spring race was so cold.
yeah,
It felt like if it just felt boring.
yeah,
Almirola getting the pole, which I did not see coming.
yeah.
I mean, I foresaw everyone being a Ford, being so it was only Gibbs and Larson that weren't a Ford in the top 10.
History repeats itself because it was 8 Fords, and then the only Chevy being Lawson from both races, and then the Toyota was a Gibbs car, but it wasn't Christopher Bell. It was Ty Gibbs,
Right.
which is crazy how that turned out.
I think the bigger shock to me was, you know, Larson up in eighth, then you keep scrolling, and then Byron in 18th, Chase in 23rd,
Yeah, Bowman was 36th.
Bowman 36th. Like, usually, at least Bowman qualifies all the time up towards the front at plate tracks. He's won the pole how many years in a row for the 500? He's like
Uh,
3.
uh, he started on the front row 6 years in a row, but I think he's only won like 2 poles, 2 or 3.
Well, I know when I went to the 500 last season, it was Larson on the pole,
Yeah, and he started
and
second.
then Bowman had the pole this season, and Larson started second.
Yeah, so I think he's only won the pole twice. I think.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Stage
because
one, I mean, that stage one's finish was absolutely incredible. Like the move that Larson made at the end,
oh yeah,
I was I, I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like, "There's no way he's making this move. He's making this move. Is it
yeah,
gonna? It might work."
yeah.
Great finish, great, phenomenal racing at the start.
Yeah, I thought Logano and Blaney were just gonna ride behind each other all the way to the end of the stage, and then I think Logano was in front first, and then Blaney pulled the move on him. I was like, oh, okay, okay, so I guess this playoff point does matter. And then Logano made a move back on Blaney, but he was conflicted because he hit him in the bumper, but then he made the move. So I think he was like conflicted whether to push him or get a pass, try to pass him to get the playoff point, which ultimately it did work because Blaney got the momentum around the outside, and then lost to make it a three wide, a sketchy three wide move in a turn three, and then Bailey getting beat out by Blaney at the line.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, I expected the Fords to be up there and to be working together. I think like I don't want to be shocked about it, but at the same time, Brad was lights out,
Hmm.
especially at the end. I wanted him to win so bad,
I did too.
and I'm not a Brad fan. Like
I am.
I, I mean, even though he kind of got what he got as a Gordon fan, it's not really too pleasurable of an experience with Brad. But he also he also got a bloody lip, black eye, which I was okay with because he kind of took Gordon out of a chance to go for a championship.
Well, to be fair, he did leave a hole open, and Gordon came down on him
I mean, could also argue the fact that he forced it three wide.
on a restart with two to go, trying to get some spots. Got to get what you get.
I mean, it is what it is. You want it be like that sometimes.
Yeah, at the time I was mad at Brad for doing it, but looking on back on it now, I'm like, yeah, Gordon kind of did that to himself.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
But I was rooting him on too, and it was cool to see him battle his old car, the two of Centric. That was so cool to watch.
Yeah,
But
fucking
man,
girl.
he was flying through the field too when he had to pit for fuel along with the Penske cars. Man, he was flying through the field. I think he got up to like six. I think at the end. But man, the man was on a mission.
He was moving.
I was like, he is coming to the front. And also, Truex and I think Bubba, I think that started the final stage. They were whipping it full throttle around the outside near the wall, and making up so much time.
Oh yeah, that was interesting to see because it's not something that you think would be happening, but
Yeah,
they were just ripping it around the outside.
yeah. I'm like, oh my god, they are hauling the nail. And then I think it was them or another couple cars. They blew like two cars. I'm like, good god,
Yeah, it was them, or no, it was Reddick
Reddick.
because Reddick was one of the first ones to go up there and start trying that move out.
Yeah,
You had Larson's spin.
yeah. I watched him spin. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a big one. I saw him spinning. I was like, uh
Everyone
oh.
kept it. Everyone kept it good.
Except Austin Hill and Chase Briscoe.
Well, I mean, Beard Motorsports and SHR. So I mean, Briscoe he was up there for like the first stage, and then after that he was gone. There was just nothing of him. He just kind of exited stage left, and that
Hmm.
was it for him.
Yeah,
And Larson, they changed his left rear tire.
white wheel.
Was it his right rear?
It was his white wheel.
And then the right front blew out.
Yeah, I was like, did you changed the white wheel, but you didn't change the white front?
It was probably because they were trying not to go a lap down because of how long pit road is and because it's under caution, so the pit road,
Yeah.
it's all 45 instead of having it 90.
But I think when he spun, he literally pulled right into his pit stall.
He did. He did pull right into his pit stall. I don't know why. Like, I mean, obviously I know why, but he came back out and then just immediately brought it into the garage. I think there was something like that. They broke something in the suspension in the right front
Yeah.
because they didn't really talk about it. I had to do a
Yeah.
little bit of digging to figure out what actually, like, why he went to the garage.
Mhm.
But I mean, for the guy that says he, in quotes, sucks at plate tracks, every single plate track he's up front.
Because the team gives him a good car, and him, the driver, just can't capitalize on it.
I think it's because he's just too he's super aggressive, puts himself in bad spots. It's not all his fault. I mean, especially like Daytona. He had a legitimate shot to win the 500, and
Yeah, he went out of gas in 2017.
I mean this year's 500.
Yeah, this year, he was on the cat. He was there was really nothing he could have done
No, no,
because he had because both lanes were coming at him behind him.
yeah, like he took it through wide, and from where I was standing in the grandstands, I'm I was like 100 feet from the start finish line. So I'm standing there and I'm watching him make the move, and I'm like, uh oh, like not yet, not yet, not yet, please wait, don't go yet. And then when I guess it was Almirola turned
Yeah,
Pastrana and just absolutely killed Larson.
yeah. I was like, oh, that's not a good hit.
Like the fact that like they literally didn't even gloss over the fact that he was in the wreck. I'm like, he didn't just hit the wall head on, did he? Like that wasn't something that happened, and this car isn't known for concussions, so we're not just even going to touch on it.
Yeah, in the broadcast, they had no energy. It was like, oh, we got to work, and that's it. I think
Yeah,
the boy was like, oh, a work,
I
like no.
felt really bad for Kyle. Kyle just
Yeah, Kyle Busch.
leading at lap 5 at the
Yeah,
500th mile,
yeah.
losing again.
Oh, yep. I was actually rooting him on to win the 500 too. First starting in an RCR call, Pooh to Gibbs said, "Hey, you should have kicked me out."
It was a great race for him. He finished 5th at Atlanta.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere too. It was just like Chicago and Nashville. He just popped up out of nowhere and boom, top five, top 10.
Yeah, I was really hoping that they would have tried to at least race a little bit more.
Yeah, apparently from what I heard, the track didn't get completely like, they didn't lose the track. Like they could have got it dried within like an hour, and they would have been able to get on, keep on going.
Oh yeah, the rain that wasn't even there yet when they
Yeah,
flagged it.
yeah.
Like, because if you watch Action's Instrumental, Denny was like, it wasn't like there wasn't even drops when we were brought down pit road.
There were like tiny drops. Like you could see it on the broadcast. That you could see it's raining, but it wasn't really raining that bad.
Yeah, like that was like I know why,
Yeah,
because they dropped the ball at Daytona last season,
yeah,
even though Denny wrecked, which made me happy. But like that's that's too quick. First, it's a night race anyway, and it's 10 o'clock at night.
yeah,
Just wait. Like
yeah.
you're in the third stage. Just wait a little longer. What the hell is on USA Network at 10 o'clock at night, nothing.
Law and
Rerun.
Order. Law and Order.
Reruns of shows that are 20 years old. Just wait. Like I'm pretty sure they're not gonna mind.
Yeah, the episode that came on right after, it was like it was like a 10 year. It was one that was like 10 years old, 10, 12 years old.
Yeah, it's like you just wait. Like I still remember sneaking over to my parents' door, watching to watch the end of the 500 when Montoya hit the jet dryer,
Oh yeah.
because that race ended at like 3 a.m.
On Tuesday.
I was like, it was look, it doesn't happen that way anymore. Like the second they get rain, immediately they try to call it as fast as they can.
Yeah.
I remember you were asking me a few weeks ago, could they have gotten the one race in? I forget what race it was. Was it
It was a race that just recently happened, right?
was it Charlotte? I know they had rain at Charlotte.
Yeah, they had rain at Charlotte. Oh, Gateway, I think. Oh, and they did get that one in, but but I said that they could wait till like 8 o'clock because they have lights.
Yeah, with one of those, there's
Yeah, I
lights
think.
on the track.
Yeah, but then you said they probably don't want to wait that long.
I mean, they don't like to wait that long. I I don't know. Like they shouldn't have thrown like the fact that there was very little debris on the track from the caution in the first place.
Yeah,
Why it took 5 laps to clean the track and not give them at least a 2 lap shootout at the end. Don't open pit road. You know rain's coming, so finish it under green and just don't open pit road. Rack them up and just go. Because even
yeah,
Junior said it on Junior Download. Just rack them up and go. Like you don't have to open pit road. We're literally about to end the stage. Everyone's gonna come in anyway.
yeah,
So there was no real point in running the last 6 laps under caution.
yeah,
I get the first lap or two, so everyone can settle in and get there, but like you really couldn't have gotten that going any quicker. I mean, come on. It was a great race. The racing was phenomenal.
yeah,
Atlanta's starting to get character back in the track.
yeah,
Handling makes such a big difference.
yeah. Which leads me to be interesting to see how as the years go on. This is already the second year, and the track they've already patched the track. The track's getting bumps into it. It's getting wore out. What are they gonna do in like after next year or the year after that, when the track gets more worn out?
Yeah, like do you just trash the idea and just can it and then go back? I mean, I feel like if they went back and do the 650, no big ass spoiler, I feel like it would be good. I feel like the racing would be really good. Handling is so important, so I feel like that would make it way better. And it's already wearing out so much that it's wearing the hell out of tires.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
heard
would
some.
be interesting.
Yeah, I heard some drivers saying that it was greater than they thought it was going to be compared to the spring.
Well, I mean, it's one of the best plate races I've seen. Dale Jr. said it. Said the thing that I said before the race. watching the Xfinity race, it reminded me of the early to mid 2000s plate track racing.
Yeah.
And when he said it in the broadcast, I was like, wait a minute. I said that yesterday because it's true. It looked amazing. And every driver had such a good time. I mean, maybe not Denny, but that's Denny. Him and Bowman got in it, and I mean,
Again.
Bowman got loose, so there
Yeah,
really
but
wasn't.
yeah.
Uh,
And
I, I
apparently Harvick got wrecked by Hamlin too,
not a
which
shock.
which they didn't throw the caution for that.
Yeah, yeah, that was what it is. Yeah, Harvick
I think
was 4 laps down.
yeah, he ended up like 30th or something.
Yep,
I thought
30th.
it, yeah, he was going so slow on the track. I thought they were gonna have to throw a caution for him, and then I see him on pit road. I was like, oh, he made it.
I don't know how he made it without tearing that whole thing up, but he did.
He had like two flat tires and everything.
Cole Custer being Cole Custer, finishing 32nd.
I mean, he did start like 21st, I think.
But yeah, he started 21st. He was decent at the start, but no one was working with him, so he was just a no show, which I expected anyway. But I think I have to the only there's two elephants in the room that I have to address. Allmendinger third.
Hmm.
I was really hoping that AJ would get that win.
I was cheering him on too. I didn't, the one time I didn't want William Byron winning because I wanted to see the playoff picture get spoiled, get freaking thrown out the window with an Almadingo or Suarez win, or not really a Keselowski win, but mainly Almadingo and Suarez and Michael McDowell as well.
Yeah, because Michael McDowell finished fourth. I mean, I pretty much expect that if it's a plate track, any of those tracks, he's gonna be up towards the front. But the biggest one is what is it? 2000, 2013 F1 World Champ JJ
2000,
Yaley.
2009.
Oh, it was 2009. The F1 World Champ finishing seventh. Uh,
Yeah,
Both me and TL like we didn't realize it. We heard JJ Yaley and we're like, why are you talking about JJ Yaley? And then the ticker goes by and I see he's in like eighth. I'm like, what?
yeah, yeah. He
Excuse
stayed.
me?
Yeah, he stayed out along like with William Byron and Almadingo on that caution where I think it was the stage caution where Blaney, Keselowski, and they pitted.
Oh, that was seeing that he finished seventh. I
Yeah,
mean,
he maintained his spot. He was like fifth, eighth the entire last two runs.
that's awesome. I love seeing JJ
Yeah,
finish in the top 10.
yeah. Apparently, it was his first top 10 in the Cup Series in 10 years,
That sounds
Da-
about right.
dating back to 2013. I think it was either Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, that sounds pretty close to right about that. And other than the few small incidents that happened,
There really wasn't any big one either, which was surprising. I mean, they did have a big wreck, which was like I think it was like 8 cars or something like that, which that was the biggest wreck of the night.
yeah, it was Jones, Ross, LaJoy, Reddick, Truex, and Ty.
Yeah,
I mean,
I felt
yeah,
so bad for Troy.
He was doing really good too.
Yeah, he just cracked the top 10.
Yeah, then Stenhouse, Priest, and Bubba. Big shocker. Ricky Stenhouse causing an accident.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, start the race earlier if you know that there's going to be rain. Please? Like you have coverage. You have coverage an hour before the race. Just start the race an hour earlier.
I
Who
actually
cares
thought
about
they
your
I
well
actually
trackside?
I actually thought they were gonna push the start time up, but they never did.
That's what I thought. Like they pushed the start time up. What was it?
It was like 30 minutes Nashville for with weather that didn't even come or happen. And then Chicago, I think they started on time.
I thought it was like 17 minutes that they pushed up the race at Nashville
I thought it was like 30.
because it was supposed to start at like seven. It was like supposed to start at like whatever 30. I forget what time the race started, and it started at like 15.
Oh, I think it was yeah, I think it was like 17 actually. I think the green flag was supposed to be dropped at like 7:22 or something like that, and
And
then
they
they pushed
started
it.
it at 7:05.
Yeah,
What is 17 minutes gonna do? That made
apparently,
no
apparently,
sense.
apparently nothing because nothing happened.
No, nothing did happen. Everything broke up and nothing got to the track.
So that was pointless.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty pointless. Should have done it for Sunday, but at
Yeah, and
least we
they
got to see Night Atlanta.
yeah, which was really awesome to see.
Well, we have our two topics
Mhm,
that we would like to discuss.
mhm.
Uh, First one being the schedule for next season. I mean, I know that the early talks are Bristol Dirt is going away.
Mhm,
It's not going to be Bristol Dirt anymore,
mhm.
which I'm kind of upset, but not upset. Like I enjoy the Bristol Dirt race,
Yeah,
but at the same time, we don't really need it.
yeah,
And that's supposedly going to be replaced with North Wilkesboro.
yeah.
I'm all for it. Points race, North Wilkesboro. Let's go.
Mhm,
That track absolutely destroys tires.
mhm.
And if Larson didn't have like NOS in his car, maybe everyone would have had a shot. But he was damn near lapping the field.
Mhm.
I don't know if the Chicago Straight Course is going to be back
Yeah.
because I mean it was a huge success for Chicago. It was a
Mhm,
giant success for NASCAR.
mhm.
I just don't think that Chicago wants to take it on again.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about, yeah, it's going to bring in a ton of business, but how many of those businesses for all the traffic for like 3 weeks to a month before the race, and then 3 weeks to a month after the race?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time for that busy area of Chicago.
Mhm.
I'd like to see Road America back, but at the same time, Road America is usually a boring track, so maybe not.
Well, they did actually repave the whole track at the end last year.
That is right. I would like to see, honestly, I would like to see Chicagoland. Bring it back,
Mm.
especially with the package.
Yeah.
Like the intermediate package is so good. They have to bring it back.
Yeah.
Interested in when Auto Club short track's going to come in because from what I heard, they haven't even started anything yet.
Yeah, from what I heard, they're probably not gonna be able to run there ever again.
That's
'Cause
going to be terrible.
yeah, they might have to shut it down.
Yeah, that's such a fun track.
Cause they already said it's not gonna be on next year's schedule.
I think I think if they have any kind of if they start to have like logistical issues with doing the short track, just keep auto.
Yeah. Well,
It
repave it.
doesn't hurt.
Well, if
I
they
wouldn't
repave
either.
it, yeah, if they repave it, it's gonna be like another Michigan.
Yeah, and I don't know if we want that because Michigan after the repave was
Uh,
not that good
yeah.
at all.
But there was the video that I told you about. He suggested Iceberg. He suggested that they move Sonoma to that place, right to Fontana, to keep it the West Coast swing. Have them go to Las Vegas, then Phoenix. Instead of Fontana, they go to Sonoma.
Okay. I mean, I can get on board with that. I think it really depends on how well I think next season that this is just a shot in the dark. I think next season we're going to wind up seeing North Wilkesboro be a points race, will not be the All-Star race.
Hmm.
I think Rockingham is going to be the All-Star race
Hmm.
because they already repaved.
Hmm.
They have everything. They're renovating everything.
Hmm.
It's starting earlier than it did for North Wilkesboro, and it's not as bad a shape as North Wilkesboro was.
Hmm.
That would make a whole lot of sense to have the All-Star race. You brought back North Wilkesboro, made it the All-Star race. You want to bring back Rockingham, make it the All-Star race.
Hmm.
I think I think Rockingham is going to be a great track to run again.
Hmm.
It's kind of that middle of the road between a intermediate and a short track.
Yeah.
I mean, it still has the progressive banking.
Hmm.
I'd love to see Rockingham. I'd like to see the Indy Road Course disappear
Hmm.
because even though the racing is okay, the track can't even handle it. Every year they hit that same curb and there's problems every year. And like at what point do they just scrap it? I mean, 650 take 650 package to the oval, phenomenal racing. I guarantee it. I would rather see the Indy Oval. Mm, take a New Hampshire race out. Is there two still, or is it just
No,
one now?
it's just
It's
one
just
now.
one.
Yeah, it's just one.
I want them to add the Milwaukee Mile.
Uh,
Milwaukee Mile was always an exciting track in the lower series. I mean, we remember Edwards and Brad.
That was Gateway.
Was it Gateway?
Yeah, it was Gateway in 2010.
Oh, I thought that was the Milwaukee Mile
No, they stopped going to the Milwaukee Mile, I think, in 2009.
until this year.
Yeah, with the Truck Series only.
Like, I like the Milwaukee Mile from the old games. The old games, Milwaukee was fun. It was better than New Hampshire. It felt better. And plus, I mean, it's Milwaukee. I have a feeling that you're going to not run into as many rain delays as New Hampshire will, because New Hampshire gets hit with rain like every other year, or they run into darkness. Because like, wasn't that how Almirola got into the playoffs 2 years in a row?
No, it was only 2021.
It was only 2021. I thought he got into it another year from
No,
that.
no, it was only 2021.
IRP.
But the thing is, with IOP, they're not going to go away from Indianapolis.
Have them both.
They probably don't want to do both.
I know they probably don't want to do both, but I would love to see IRP on the Cup schedule. That would be a great race.
If they do put it on the schedule, they're going to have to put safer barriers up because that track doesn't have safer barriers.
Yeah, that's right. 'Cause they haven't run on it. They didn't run on it for like 10 years.
11 technically.
Was it 11?
Because they stopped going there in 2011.
I thought it was later than that.
Yeah, 2012. That's when they brought the Xfinity Series to the Brickyard, and then they stopped doing it for the Truck Series entirely.
Yeah. And there's not a whole lot that they can do with the schedule.
I've heard rumors that they're going to try to go to Montreal next year.
I did hear that. I would like that. Montreal's a good. Jill Villeneuve is phenomenal track. Not for F1, but for
Yeah,
them it's good. For NASCAR it's good, because for F1 it's like Monaco. It's a snooze fest.
yeah.
I like the idea of going there, but if you're gonna do that, get rid of Chicago. As much as I like the Chicago race, get rid of it. But I know we want to go to cities and everything, but we haven't been to Canada to that track in forever now. Like, it's time. You got to make way for something, and I think that's the way to go. Unless they do it like in where an auto club race is supposed to go. So when they switch, like if you switch Sonoma with auto club, that'll be where Sonoma's that'll be in place of Sonoma.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all honesty, I see Chicago axing the street race. They made their money. They don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
What was the other topic? Because I'm drawing a blank.
Bush Beer sponsoring Wash Chastain next year.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I love it. The paint
Yeah.
scheme looks sweet.
Hmm.
Bush Light Watermelon is probably going to be the next thing to come out,
Yeah.
and it's probably going to be disgusting. But I mean, it is what it is. Because all those flavored beers are just gross.
Yeah.
I like it, but I think it's also starting to show the downfall of SHR.
Yeah.
It I think Tony wants out. I think he's wanted out for a couple of years now.
Who?
Tony.
Oh, Tony.
I think he just wants out. He's got so many of his cards in NHRA, and with, still owning Eldora,
Mhm.
SRX, like, I don't really think he has much interest in being in NASCAR anymore. It's gonna be a big hit for SHR. Losing Bush is probably one of their biggest sponsors,
Mhm.
but I am clearly here for it. Very here for Ross getting a huge sponsor, and, it means that he ain't going anywhere.
Mhm.
I think it's more going to I don't know if it's gonna benefit Ross, but it's really gonna hurt SHR. I mean, Harvick leaving is gonna hurt SHR probably more than Busch Beer leaving.
Yeah.
You lose the most consistent driver that you've had for basically the whole inception of SHR. Uh, we'll see how it goes. I mean,
Mhm.
I like the paint scheme.
Mhm.
We'll see how all the other paint schemes go. If he has a Bush Apple paint scheme, it's going to be sweet because those paint schemes on Harvick's car were always so nice.
Mhm.
Before we end it, I guess I'll talk about it. Uh, since we did the post race interview for Winston Cup Racing League, I guess we'll do I'll talk about it a little bit. Um, don't have any guests to add because your boy here won, so uh, I can't really interview myself. So I figure talk about it just a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, I mean it's Phoenix, so it's another short track. You'd really have to just pay attention and not do a lot of stupid things early in the race. You know, I think stage one. I mean, I qualified second, which I mean, I'm happy I qualified second, but I wanted the pole. I knew that Cam, even though rightfully gone from the league, even though he was quick, I knew from practice after about 10 laps he had absolutely nothing for me. And we got quite a few good long runs, which is what I really needed from the race. Short run, it felt like I was kind of outclassed by Cam, G Money, Clayton. It felt like they were just really good on the short run, but after about 10, 15 laps, I just started picking up time, picking up time, picking up time, and it started out with like a half a tenth to a tenth a lap, and then it was like 2 tenths a lap, 3 tenths a lap, and I was just motoring. I think I won the first stage. Then I finished fourth the second stage. It was bad positioning by me. Just didn't really get a whole lot of good at the end of the stage. It was like the first lap after the restart. I wound up going too hard into turn one, giving up the spot to G Money, and then went too hard into turn three, gave up the spot to Clayton, and then I just missed getting Clayton back. I needed all the points I could get because both me and TL were 12 back of G Money, and tomorrow night's the last race of the season, so It's down to 4, so the chance is there. Whether I actually do it or not is probably not gonna happen. I have very low expectations for myself going into Michigan. It's basically a plate track with slowing down in the corner, so, you know, you can't really get away from anyone, you can't make you're not gonna have a lead, and if you do, you're blocking super hard just to try and keep the lead for 1 lap. So, it comes down to a win, it comes down to a win. I feel like it's probably gonna come down to whoever wins the race is gonna win the championship. Mm. Stage 3 of Phoenix was where everything just went downhill. Everything went downhill in stage 3. Uh, had a bunch of wrecks. It started out Stage 3 started out, I think we had, like, 3 cautions in the first, like, 12 laps. We got a good run in there. I kinda got shuffled back trying to pit, and then, it was like a restart with, say 8 to go, 6 to go, and, I took 2 tires because we just pit not too long ago for 4, so I took 2. Like, maybe I'll be the only one that does it, and, I was not the only one that did it. Every time I took 2 tires, Clayton took 2 tires. I don't know how he knew I was taking 2 tires every single time, but he knew I was taking 2 tires. Every time I took 2, he was right behind me coming out of pit road, and I knew I could beat Clayton. My big problem was I didn't know what Cam was gonna do, and I think it was 4 to go. He kept diving it super hard, both ends, into turn 1, into turn 3. He kept trying to come up and just give me a tap. Kept trying to do it, kept trying to do it, and it was coming to 2 to go, going into turn 3. He drove in really hard, and he clipped the right rear of my car of the car, and it turned me sideways, but I just kept going, and he got audibly frustrated that it didn't work, and he dove it in again into turn 1. I just kept just squeezing the throttle, tap, 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 tap in the center just to keep his nose from getting to my back bumper. Even if I gave up a little bit off the corner, I was still gonna drive it in deeper and keep it wound up so that he couldn't get to my back bumper. And it worked. Going into 3, I kept him off me, and then white flag, I'm blocked. I need the win. You don't need it. I'm blocking this all the way around. And he dove it in pretty hard into turn 1. Coming off of turn 2, G Money G Money said, I'm really concerned about turn 3." And he got super angry in the party, but then visibly backed off super hard. And when he backed off, I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you were going to you were gonna dump me going into 3, but G Money called you on it, and you backed off because you knew you were found out." I mean, it had a lot of controversy at the end, but I needed the win, and I got the win finally. I feel like it's been forever since I won. Forgot what it felt like to actually win a race and not have a bunch of garbage at the end make me feel like that It's happened a bunch of times where I'll win a race and it feels like crap afterwards because there's just nothing but garbage going on. But we won't miss him. We won't miss Cam. It's not happening. I don't care what anyone says. We will not miss him at all. I think the only thing we have to work on is getting rid of the 20. And I hope he doesn't see it, but if he does, that kind of sucks. 'Cause I'm not taking it back. But yeah, that's about it for the race. And I think it's about it for the podcast. We are at an hour and 20 minutes.
Mhm,
Definitely have to work on the pacing, but we'll get it down. We got time. There's plenty more podcasts to come.
mhm,
But hey, if you guys like it and you guys like the podcast, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, at some point within the next 10 years, we'll be posting it on the actual Slide Job Podcast channel. Um, that's all on this guy right here. Um, leave a like, comment. I think if you guys watch it, leave us a comment on what you think about next year's schedule. I think that'll be a good topic of discussion. See what everyone thinks, and yeah, I mean, anything more to add?
just just curious how the schedule is going to be next year because they'd probably be the biggest shakeup since probably 2021, if I had to guess. With them having to take Fontana off due to COVID, when the Daytona road course, and then they changed Indy to a road course, and then brought in Coda and Nashville. So it'd probably be a pretty big schedule. Also, New Hampshire is going to be really interesting too, with weather seemingly going to be playing a factor again this weekend.
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be some rain up there on Sunday, and I'm used to it. Going to be another Tuesday podcast, I have a feeling. But yeah, with that being said, that would be the end of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure like, subscribe, comment, and we will catch you next week. See you guys.